she got bored to death being queen, so she abdicated to her brother so that she could travel. And she went to Italy and traveled around, and eventually decided she wanted to be queen again, so she asked the Pope, "Can I be queen of this place?" And he said no. So let that be a lesson to you. If you're a queen of some place, don't abdicate and expect to get it back some other time. You know, once you give that up, that's kind of somewhere in there. It should explain that she is the one that is blamed for what happened to. But fascinating person. Queen Christine. Let's go and look at. Let's see, we finish with him. What should I mention about Martin Luther? Martin Luther, as an Augustinian, loved his parishioners. He hated the way the church was trying to bilk them of every cent they could get. But at the time, the Pope had engaged lots of different architects and artists, including Michelangelo and Raphael, to create a cathedral, which would become, well, a basilica. The Basilica of St. Peter and St. Paul, which is still there in Rome. If you ever, I usually go to Christmas Mass in Rome. It's just absolutely beautiful. Later on, you can also visit the one in Moscow, which is beautiful, very different, because their Christmas celebrations are not the same, right? Especially Greek. The Greeks are, they celebrate Christmas late. They celebrate Easter late too, but that makes all their their Easter candy cheaper, which is cool, right? If you're Greek. Except the thing is, by the time you get the Easter peeps, they're hard as rocks. You can break windows with the damn things, you know.
Did you try with that?
Pardon?
Did you put that theory to the test?
I'm quoting from a Greek comedian who's very funny, actually.
It's cool to be Greek, not so much because of all the success of the movie The Big Fat Greek Wedding, not because of the success of the Olympic Games in 2004 in Athens, not because of every Greek festival you people have been to. It's always been cool to be Greek, and I'll tell you why. Because of our faith. We are Greek Orthodox, and our religion is different than anyone else's in this room. I swear, because everything that we celebrate late. We celebrate everything. We celebrate Easter a week after regular Easter. We're the only people who can make Jesus come back twice in the same freaking year. Celebrate a week after, 2 weeks, sometimes even 5 weeks after, which is great because our candy is so much cheaper. Of course, those are the broken chocolate bunnies that you bastards never bought. It took me 20 years to realize that chocolate bunnies do have ears. I never got a fresh peep. Remember marshmallows? By the time I got them, they can break windows with a damn thing. My mother screwed up every piece of Americana things that you people took for granted because you were born here. My mom screwed up. She didn't know. Screw up things like the tooth fairy. How can you possibly screw up the tooth fairy? I go, Mama, my tooth fell out. What do? Don't let her buy a teeth. I'm going to take care of everything. She takes my tooth, puts it into my pillow. The next morning, I look underneath my pillow. I find my mother's and father's personal check for $10. I'm not an idiot. I know what's going on. I took that check down and I said, Mom, Dad, the tooth fairy is embezzling money from you. She screwed up Thanksgiving. What is the number one ingredient in any Thanksgiving meal? Turkey, not the Greek house, it's lamb. Lamb? Who the hell eats lamb on Thanksgiving? We had lamb, moussaka, pasticcio, dolmades, spanakopita, triopita, feta cheese, and kalamata olives. Just like the Pilgrim. And when you're Greek, no one wants to trade lunch with you at school. It's like a bad episode of Fear Factor.
That's pretty gross. I didn't want you to hear that part. Remember, we did the Usyk thing, so, you know. Oh.
If you can play that trick.
I'm in 8th grade. Bob, what do you got? I got a recipe sandwich. Nikki, what do you got? I had that stuff. Sammy, what about you? I got salami cheese. Basil, what do you have? Woo! A goldfish. It's good.
Sorry. So back to Martin Luther. Everything I tell you is something I learned or read or heard someone say. I don't have any of my own ideas.
None?
I don't think so. Even that one.
What if you try really, really hard?
You know, what it usually means is a lack of checking the internet to find out who said it first.
But if you didn't hear it first, is it still an original thought?
How do you know?
No.
Well, especially if we're all interconnected, you know, that's possible. Plus, I don't remember who said or what I read. You know, I mean, I read all the Tarzan books. You know.
There are tons of them.
Really?
Yeah, it's an old series. I have one my grandpa
Edgar
gave me
Rice
from
Burroughs, yeah.
the early 20s or something.
Asimov, Foundation series. Yeah, well, it's just one of those things. But Martin Luther wanted to stop the church from taking all the money from his impoverished people. When you ask for movie, it doesn't necessarily just give you videos, so that's fine. Here we go. By the way, I think it's absolutely hilarious that Voldemort's brother is the actor who plays Luther.
What is the thought process behind the haircuts?
Is this the whole movie? No.
No, it's just the trailer.
Okay.
It's okay, you can like keep going.
Yeah, it's just really good.
Historically based, by the way. It failed miserably at that because of the printing press.
The books of Martin Luther are to be examined and burned. Anyone who presumes to infringe our excommunication and anathema will stand under the wrath of Almighty God and the apostles Peter and Paul.
And it started the Protestant rebellion.
You have been summoned to appear by Rome to infringe the excommunication.
Did you read the Declaration of Rights?
You are a Catholic. No, sir.
This will separate us from Rome forever.
Seek the Lord while he is near.
You must conduct yourself. You must fight.
He marries a nun. She quits being a nun. Lutheran priests are allowed to marry. Ended up with what, 6, 7 children? Stop. Get out of here. Go away. So, pretty interesting movie. It did play in Anchorage for one night.
Just one.
One night at the Firemead Theater. There used to be a theater on the corner of Fireweed and old New Sewer. It's no longer there, right? You got it torn down. Across from the Sears and Roebuck. Well, there used to be a mall.
Yeah.
But we didn't see it that night, but I was planning on going to see it, and by the time I went to go and see it like that week, it was no longer playing. For some reason, it was stopped from playing in Anchorage after only one performance. I don't know why, but that was suspicious, I thought. In any case, I thought it was a good movie, although it was clearly Lutheran. It was pro-Luther, and if you were looking at it as, well, what he did was totally screwed up the Universal Church and started, the Protestant Reformation. Remember I mentioned that William of Ockham was often considered the first Protestant, but that wasn't because he actually got a sect started. And by the way, the church reformers were not just like the Protestants, but when you think about the different monastic orders, those were all started by individuals that were trying to reform religion. But it was encapsulated within the church. So the Franciscans are part of the Universal Church. Dominicans part of the Universal Church, etc. But the German political situation took the Reformation that he started and turned it into a war to physically break away from the dominance of the Catholic Church. And at the same time, by the way, the church was still fighting the Ottoman Empire, which never really was completely chased out of Europe until, I think, 1918, right? Something like that. The Turkish Ottomans were, an empire that allowed people to be other religions. But if you were Christian and you had children, sons, you had to give 1/20th, or 20% rather, not 1/20th, sorry, 1/5, right? Every fifth son you had to give to the state so that they could Number one, make him Muslim, and number two, make him a soldier for life. That was your tax if you were a Christian. There were other costs involved, and so on.